what's good? It's Skano. It's a sobering reality when you realize that you're expendable. We are systematically being hunted, if not by other, you know, black folks, and you know what I mean when I talk about that. But the government, law enforcement, they want to eradicate us. And it's hard for me to focus on much else, you know, especially trivial matters like celebrity shit, even politics. They are hunting us even to this day, and eradicating us. This dude that crashed out on it, you know, ran over the cross guard, off duty cop. You know, the Cincy dude, his son was shot and killed. His son didn't have no gun in that video, man. Well, he fell down with a gun when he got out the car, got up and ran. He didn't have a weapon at that point. He was not looking back. He was no threat. And like I said before, man, when you out here moving, you know, moving the wrong way, at that point, you know, you've given up not just control of, you know, what happens after that, but you've signed over ownership of your life. Once you get caught up with them, you know, because they will kill you for anything. So, regardless, I got a question that I already know the answer to. If that had been a white kid, a white man, would it have been handled the same? You know, would he have been deemed as such a threat? And I keep going back to the woman in suburban Chicago, this black woman who was shot in her own kitchen because she had a pot of hot water, so the cops say. Now this body cam footage, it's grainy. It doesn't even look. They could have tampered with this. I don't trust nothing. Why should we? Why would we? But from what I see, you know, the fact of the matter is, you can be murdered by the police for non-compliance. If they tell you do XYZ and you are non-compliant, that's grounds for you to be killed by the cops if you black. You know, running away. Because this dude was shot in the back, you know. And like I said, he fired no weapon. There's no footage of him aiming a weapon. You can't even see a weapon at the point where he was shot by the police. He was not even armed. So he was shot for not complying. You were shot because you running. And you know that's how I go with these cops, man. You know what I'm saying? I've seen this shit over and over, man. Traffic stops, you know. You go to put, you know, individual, they dirty, whatever the situation is, they go to get away. Cops just start open fire. There was a situation in Cleveland some years back where a couple was downtown where the Justice Center is, and that's where the Fed building, the main police headquarters is downtown, the Justice Center. It was in that area. And the cops try to pull over this black couple. Now, apparently, you know, I don't know why they didn't pull over immediately, but they chose not to. And I'm talking about researching. It was about 30 squad cars chasing them over half of the east side of Cleveland. And it was public. It was on the news. We knew they were going to die when they caught them people. It was like an hour-long chase or whatever. When they finally caught them up, that's exactly what happened. You know, they got video footage of one of the officers jumping on the hood of the car and just letting off his whole clip, reloading and letting off more rounds. I mean, we talking about 10, I don't know how they ain't shoot their damn self. And they whole reasoning for this, they claim that the couple had fired, they never found a weapon. You know, they claim that they fired, some gunshots out there, just randomly riding past the, who would do such a thing? Just ride past the police station and fire. They will kill us for any damn reason, man. So when shit like this happen, yeah, true enough, dude out here cutting up, you put yourself in that position. I have to, like I said before, we have to have accountability. You know what I'm saying? The father who crashed out, I wonder if deep down inside, he feeling away because he know he didn't do everything he could to keep his son out the street. But regardless of that, to be shot down when you unarmed, I mean, it only happens to black folks though. And you don't have to be in the commission of a crime, so I don't want to hear that shit either. We know that you can be a law-abiding citizen, no criminal record, and end up dead anytime you interact with these cops, which they actually just KKK. I done told y'all they the new Klan, So, which is evident. Shit, it's evident. They want to eradicate us, man. And I've lived most of my life, I'm going to be real with you. I lived most of my life without bitterness and hatred when it comes to, don't get me wrong, it's definitely times where I want to crash out over certain circumstances. But I've done a good job, a damn good job, of, trying to lead my life without having hatred in my heart for certain people just based on their race. It's difficult, man. It's difficult when you know they hate you. You know what black people are? We are entertainment. That's what we are. I'm sorry to break the news to y'all, man. But it's obvious. We could disappear from America, which they would be happy. They would be happy. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Not all white people, obviously. But the majority. I just get the feeling. And the ones that don't hate us, if we just disappear, they would be fine with that, It is what it is. But we are entertainment, man. That's our purpose. We went from being, cattle to now we're, just entertainment. That's all they really find us useful for. They don't want us in any other fields, You can, play some ball, sing and dance, some shit like that. That's where they want to relegate us. And speaking of music, it's become a minstrel show. You know what I'm saying? It's become a minstrel show. The shit they perpetuate. I don't see no other genre of music I'm saying, why is it that the worst aspects of black culture are incentivized and pushed to mainstream media to represent the black community? Like drill rap, shit like that. Gangster rap too, trap rap, all that shit. And I listen to it. I grew up in that life, but it should not be mainstream. That shit should be underground. That should not be the imagery that they push. But I guess that's our responsibility, more so than anything. I'm getting off track, but they want to eradicate us. And no matter what type of an example we as a people set forth, and they demonize us. And like I said, they like to highlight the negative aspects of black culture. If you want to call drill and gangster, like I said before, gang culture is not black culture. But somehow they want to demonize us to justify the shit is going to revert back to what it was. you know. And their main justification will be, look at their culture. Look at their culture. You know what I'm saying? Like the drill rap, gang culture. The communities where black on black crime is so prevalent and so brutal. And it's like, look how they do each other. You know what I'm saying? And that, like I said, in their mind, that justifies, even though they know they're evil. And I say they, as in the system, the power construct. You know, but if the rest of the world were not viewing, you know, what's going on too, you know, when there was no social media and when they could keep things wrapped up, yeah, I know what we was catching hell. You know what I'm saying? Even when it was on some peace, turn the other cheek type shit, it did not matter. And it never will matter, you know, unfortunately, until God come back and set this straight. But until then, you know, I see some I see some tense times ahead. Like I said, man, we were in the eye of the storm for a while. A couple decades, it seemed, you know, the eye of the storm. And it seemed that maybe there was some leeway being made as far as racial relations, but that shit was all a fallacy. You know what I'm saying? And every time election year roll around, we are reminded. Every time, you know, somebody is killed, murdered by the police during a simple traffic stop, or selling loose cigarettes, you know, whatever the case, we are reminded. And it's like, there's a part of me, and this is the part of me that I try very, very to you know, maintain some. It's a part of me that celebrates what this man did for his son in Cincy. It's a part of me that celebrates it. I'm not gonna stand here and lie. You know, it's a part of, because I imagine if it was my son, you know, regardless, he's in the act of committing a crime that should not have cost him his life. At the end of the day, I'm trying to put myself, and I know how I would feel about it. It's a part of me that commend dude and celebrate it, you know, because they taking out ours any chance they get. But that's wrong, right? That's wrong. I'm trying to be righteous, you know. I am, you know, and that's the part of me that I'm trying to govern, because that part of me, it's loud and clear. If it was my son, eye for an eye, you know, but not just some random. I wouldn't have crashed out that way, you know, just some. I would have found your family if I was in a certain state of mind. Let me, you know, because I can't promote violence on YouTube. But I'm saying I can relate to this, with this man's. And I told y'all, I've been telling y'all how you know, how people get down in Ohio. They don't care about if you law enforcement. I told y'all, you know, people get down on 12 in Ohio too. You know, so it is what it is, man. 216 Skano, you already know.